On our Greetings from the Garden State segment this morning here on Jersey Magazine, Mike Ham is bringing us one of my favorite things in New Jersey, an Italian restaurant, but not just any Italian restaurant and not just any location. Mike, what do you have for us this week?
So this week we're talking about Angeloni's Club Madrid in Atlantic City, New Jersey. One of my favorite places in the world, Atlantic City. I mean, and I don't even gamble, and that should tell you how much I enjoy the food and beverage scene in Atlantic City. But Angeloni's Club Madrid is a really unique place. It started out as a cabaret bar, like a burlesque bar back in the 20s. It was when it was called Club Madrid, and then over time it kind of continued that. In the 80s. It was bought by what was Angeloni's at the time, then became an Italian restaurant. And then last year, the group that owns Tony's Baltimore Grill actually bought out Angeloni's, and they turned it into Angeloni's Club Madrid, which is like a really cool cocktail bar slash 80s time capsule. It's a really cool spot, and they did a really good job kind of putting everything together. It's awesome.
Just out of curiosity, and you may not even know the answer to the question, but why do you think they went with an 80s feel as opposed to going back a little bit further?
That's a good question. I think maybe so. I do think there is this kind of chasm in Atlantic City between old school Atlantic City, like Sinatra era Atlantic City, and what is current Atlantic City. And all like the modern things that with the casinos and everything that they're trying to push with that. And I think that sometimes what gets lost is that post casino, like, because the casinos came in around the 70s, and that's kind of like this era of Atlantic City that almost kind of gets lost in time, so to speak. And I do think that because there was this kind of abutment between Club Madrid and Angeloni's when they originally bought the place in the 80s, it kind of was like a perfect marrying of the two at that particular time. So I think they're trying to merge both at the same time and kind of like the spirit of both within the space. And I think they did an incredible job.
I was taking a look at the menu and it has everything you'd want in a New Jersey Italian restaurant. Do you have a
Yeah.
favorite yet?
So we mostly drank there. But we did have like their appetizer sampler, which was phenomenal. They had like a house dip in there and some cheese and olives and like some whatever, and that was kind of what we had because we did a couple happy hours at Docks and then there. And one of the things that I think that they do a really good job of is they connect a lot of the dots in Atlantic City history. So they have a cocktail called the Docks, which is basically like a martini with caviar on it, and it's kind of an homage to Docks being a legendary place in Atlantic City. And they have a couple others like the Ducktown and a bunch of others. Also, the knife and fork is another one of their dishes, I think. And but then they also kind of have these new twists on things. They have one that's called a girl dinner, which is a dirty martini with a side of gummy worms, like sour gummy worms, which is just like these kind of crazy connections to both historic things and then also kind of the vision of what the team that's running the place now is, thinking outside the box a little bit and having some fun with it.
Speaking of homage and thinking outside the box, their website, and I don't know if they're going to update it or not, but their website is, I mean, you want to talk about vintage and retro. It
Yeah.
looks like something out of 1981. It is so bare bones, but it's so cool.
Yeah, and that's totally by design. And they set it up specifically for that because it makes you think about it a little bit. Like they don't have a listed phone number by design. So you actually have to go in there and check it out. They do have memberships available. So then if you do have a membership, you can call into the place and see if you can get a table reservation or whatever. And you do have priority if you are a member. They also have this cool thing, and this is not listed on the site, but if you go down there, you'll see it. They have an old black limousine parked out front, which is part of their membership package. And they can't really say what's in there, but it is part of it. So if you do wind up becoming a member of Angeloni's Club Madrid, you do get access to the limo and some of the other perks that kind of come along with, being on the inside. And if you know, so to speak.
And that's coming up this week on Greetings from the Garden State, which you can check out at greetingsfromthegardenstate.com. Looking forward to it. Thanks, Mike.
Thanks, Jim. Appreciate it.